getting harder and harder to rent because people, remember we were talking about it last week, it's just getting harder and harder to rent. And I need to get this place rented, and maybe it'll work for both of us. And, I could solve his problem. He could solve my problem.
I have a hard time to listen to you when you say harder and harder. So this is the Larry Steinhouse show, and I want to welcome all the listeners because we're doing it the second time because we had a problem with the broadcasting, and now everything works. We're broadcasting in Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn, and yes, and
I don't know. Are we
that,
on
that
LinkedIn?
too? Yes, and also
YouTube
and that too. Yes, correct.
Facebook?
And you're welcome to give us a call back during the show. We are a live show. That's 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137. We have a 2-hour show. We actually have 2 1-hour shows. Don't wait for the end of the show, guys, because we won't have time, and we are here to help you. Any question you have about finance, about money, real estate, stocks, whatever you need, give us a call right now, and we will be dedicated for you. 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. And back to you, Miss Deb.
Miss Doctor.
Dr. Deb,
Dr. Deb.
President, Madam President.
Well, doctor works for me.
So I feel exactly what you brought up today. And it's funny. Yes, credit scores are more down than what we expected. I don't get, even here in Pennsylvania right now, I can't get people with credit score that will be, let's say, over the 650. They don't exist.
I look for credit score over 600 because I
Me
think
too.
over 600 I
too.
feel better. But there's credit scores are, I'm telling you, they're in the toilet.
I know, and this bring a big question. The other question we have is, what are we going to do, like you brought up, with the security? Because we make our properties nice. You are adamant, for a reason that I don't know, but it's yours, to put washer and dryers every unit, for example. Not every landlord will do something like that.
I think it makes it easier to rent if there's a washer and dryer.
So there's a symbol here about the fact that we are trying to make our properties nice. Larry likes to say that every property that we are doing, we can move into. That's what he do, at least, and that's great. We don't want to, but we can. We make it in a level, in a way that we will feel comfortable to live there if we have to.
Okay.
And the problem with giving up the security, from my perspective, is that sometimes when people leave, they don't leave the house the way they got it.
Yeah.
And this is an understatement.
Yeah.
And sometimes there is even an effort from the tenant side. I will give you an example. I was in Delaware last week to get a property back. And the tenant painted the house after she left. Now that sounds awesome. That sounds like a very nice gesture. When a person who is not a pro do this job, it can be a big damage. For example, all the covers for the switch and outlet are painted.
Oh,
Most of the switches and outlet are painted as well because they were so uncareful.
Because they didn't take them off.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Why not to take? No, it's one screw. It's so easy, right?
It's 2 screws. It's two. It's one at the top and one on the bottom. It's 2 screws.
I don't know what's going on in your bottom. I want to tell you something very simple. If it's an outlet, it's a 1 screw. If it's a switch, it's 2 screws. If you know how many screws needs to remove an outlet or a switch cover, give us a call at 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. I'm pretty sure I'm right, though.
No, I think that, the light switches are 2 screws.
The light switches are 2 screws. The outlet is 1 screw.
I'm not sure what the outlet.
Okay, so you can look behind you.
The outlet is 1. The outlet is 1.
I appreciate you.
The outlet is 1, but
Yes.
the other one is 2. See, look at that one has 4. So I'm telling you, that one behind this is 4. So it has one on the top and one on the bottom. Anyway, I have to say though that the last 2 places I got back, that 2 that I have open in Luzerne, I have to say that they actually left them in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
I was very surprised.
I tell people, listen, small holes on the wall, don't worry about. You took a picture of or something, that's fine. Don't worry about. Same thing about like a towel hanger or all that. Don't remove anything. That's why I'm trying to put, before they move in, everything. Because to me, I'm willing to be the person who will do all that for them. And if they do it, like what I experienced in Delaware recently, not my property, by the way, but what I experienced was a disaster. And I will tell you why. It's not only the covers. When they ran the roller on the wall, they touch the baseboards and they touch the ceilings.
What are your thoughts on, so now that we're talking about this, because you say you supply everything. So the one thing that I don't usually supply is window treatments. Do you put window treatment, like the curtains?
What is window treatments?
Like blinds or?
I haven't. In the last few, I think maybe 5 renovation, I am. In Ruskin, I'm doing it all. Again, I don't want them to put garbage bag on the window with masking tape that dries and leave marks. This is an example from thing I experienced.
Okay.
I don't want them to put a rod on the frame from the outside of the window trim and put tons of screws on the window trim.
Okay.
So I do it. And if they want to do something else, that's fine. But I would like to provide something so they won't need to get the keys and run to Home Depot or IKEA or somewhere else. So I put blinds, I don't put curtains.
You put blinds, but not
I put
curtains.
blinds and I put them inside the window box.
Okay.
Inside the frame. So if they want to because it's very important for me that the turnover will be as quick as I can.
Right.
Now, I also put it in the lease. So if, when I'm getting the house back, the unit back, all the blinds are missing or broken, I'm charging it as part of the security.
Okay.
Yeah. Because a blind costs us what? $50 installed, I guess? Something like that? $50, $60, $70
I don't know. I don't usually
installed?
supply them. So that's why I'm asking, because
I like to do that also when I'm renting a unit and the unit is empty, the blind protect me as well. When the unit is empty and there are blinds on the windows, it maybe show that somebody lives there. It also don't allow people from the outside look inside.
Right.
So there are benefits here too.
Okay. Because I don't have anything in the Delaware, so I'm wondering if I should put some in Delaware. So
I think it's a nice add-on, and I tell you what I do. If it's funny, we started with real estate, full power, but
full force,
full
throttle. What? Come on.
So
Brian, jump in here. This is a total. Come on.
As long as the unit.
I was going to say, what do you do when you have 2 screws loose?
In my head.
What are you talking about? He's like that all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm talking about the outlet on the wall.
Both screws are loose.
What did you think I was talking about?
He's so funny.
The engine room. So I think the way I see it is, as long as the unit is not occupied, I would try to make it more and more appealing.
Okay.
And it's funny. I would do it, and then I let my worker do it, my employee do it. Now my employee is so busy because of all of you guys, so I can do that as well.
You should be happy that we're using him.
I'm happy. This was the purpose of this hiring, but I as long as the unit is empty, I like to add value to it. Right now, for example, I have an empty unit in Norristown, and I start to think about replacing the fridge. Why? Because the previous tenant put all kind of stickers on the fridge and all that, and it bothers me. So and I'm
alcohol or Goo Gone.
It could be goof off. Yeah, I know. So I can do that, or replace it with a nicer stainless steel one, because it will be nicer. So as long as the unit is empty, I'm keep adding. For example, I brought grass seeds and I pour all around the backyard. So I'm trying to add more and more value as the unit is available.
Okay.
But with a limit. Yeah. With a limit, not like with a chocolate in my mouth, with an actual limit. Are you done with your chocolate in your mouth?
No, I'm sucking on it slowly because it tastes good.
You're sucking on it? Okay, I appreciate it. So if you want to join the madness and ask Debbie what... Okay, I'm not going there. You can call us at 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. We're broadcasting to you also live on Facebook and YouTube. You can give us a call at any time or put a comment. We have a comment from Kimi, our
number one fan,
the vocal listener. She's always there, and we are very happy that she is with us. 855-939-1137. Are we done with real estate?
No, I'm still waiting
I'm
waiting for somebody to call about, what they think I should do about that potential tenant.
So
but you could hear I'm telling you, you could hear the stress in his voice. Like,
I know.
you know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm leaning towards let him have it. I mean, you know, I did do the PA, I did look at
PAE docket.
the PAE docket, which is a way to look at evictions in Pennsylvania.
So do you know that that's part of why I ask people to send me a text with their full name? I have their full name, I have their number, and before they even come, let's say I have one person that is coming, and it's an hour for you, it's 2-hour drive. So
there it's a 2-hour drive for me.
correct. So I have a 1-hour drive. So before I even go and I bother myself with that, I can go to PAE docket and then I can find out. And I will tell you that last time
Do you ask for their date of birth? Because you can look it up through their date of birth too.
Yeah, you can. But if you have the name and you have the same county or the same even town, it's probably the same person.
So, you know, I don't know, because I like having the date of birth because at least I know for sure if it's the right person.
So in every docket, in PAE docket, once you go into the docket, there is the date of birth. And then you can confirm it with them.
Well, no, what I'm saying is that when you look it up, because I have the app on my phone.
Correct.
And I look up their name, and then you can put in their date of birth. So I ask for their date of birth, you know, on the spot.
Before you even met them?
Well, I did for this guy, but usually
It's careful.
in person. Usually,
Yeah.
usually like 9 out of 10 times, I always ask for it in person when they're thinking about being interested. And then I'm like, hey, you know, give me your date of birth and your name real quick, and I look it up. But with this guy, because he's so in a shambles trying to get in somewhere, and he saw it today, I'm like, give me your, you know, let me look you up real quick, because he said, I think that my landlord, he was trying to get possession, so there might be an eviction. I'm not really sure. And I'm like, let me look you up. And then I said, give me your name and then give me your date of birth. And nothing came up on PAE docket. And I asked for the same for his wife, girlfriend, fiance, whatever she is.
3 years ago, I was here and I said, we are entering an era that every person will have an eviction or a housing court in their records in the areas we are renting. And I think we are there. Because almost every person have, sometimes it's very far down, 2014 I saw and all that. But the problem with that is during COVID, we had problems. People couldn't pay, court were closed, landlord opened cases that sometimes dragged for months until they could be in front of a judge, and that's the problem.
I'm not finding that, Omri. I
No?
mean, no, I'm not finding that. I mean, I have had people be interested where they had very recent, like I remember once where I showed it on a Sunday and then I looked it back up on a Tuesday or Wednesday. Just for some reason, I thought to look it up, and something had showed up in those 4 or 5 days. So it was just very weird. And I can't even explain to you why I decided to look again, but and something showed up, and I'm like, look, I can't take you because of, you know, this happening. But for the most part, I don't get that many. You know what I do get, which I think is interesting?
Tell me.
I get the driving without a license or driving without an
I know.
insurance card, or I get
tons of parking tickets.
Yeah, or I get the not reckless, like I've had substance abuse or, you know, disturbing the peace, or I've had some assaults, and I'm like, yeah, you know, this isn't the best place for you. I'm sorry, you know, I don't think I could take you on. But like I've seen some of that stuff, you know, and I'm just like, well, that kind of stuff I'm not interested in.
So if a person drive without a license, but they always pay their renting time.
That I don't care about. I don't care about any of that stuff. But when you're starting to get assault and when you're starting to get drug abuse or distributing, then I have no interest.
Ask the questions. We interviewed a tenant over the phone, and we asked the questions. This was, I think, last Saturday, and the way it brought up, the way she presented the situation, I didn't like what I hear. Me and Larry, actually, we didn't like what we hear, and I tell you why. It was the landlord fault, and she told him, and he didn't fix, and she stopped paying, and she told him she can't pay, and the attitude was a lot of blame. I had people that had evictions before, and I accepted them because they said I was in a bad spot, I couldn't afford it, I have kids, I couldn't sleep on the street with my kids, and I said, what happened since then? What did you do? And where are you right now? And some people don't like that, and it seems like, why are you going into my business? But some people appreciate that, and they said, somebody is willing to give me opportunity. Somebody, and you know, and Larry know, as part of me being the worst landlord, and of course many water, the river, yes. How do you say? A lot of water went down the river. There's a say here.
Water under the bridge,
Stop. So,
right? Water under the bridge.
A river runs through it.
A river? No, that's a movie. You and your movies. It's water under the bridge. Water under the bridge. Like
Yes.
you let it go.
So,
I don't know.
I like to give people opportunity.
Okay.
I like to give people, because our business is people.
Well, that's
And
why.
I love working with people. I love communicating with people. And when you give people the opportunity they deserve, first we get an opportunity in our life. Because
Well, that's
this
why
is
I
a
was
circle.
interested in helping.
Don't bother
this-
me.
Oh,
And the
that's
other
why
thing,
I was interested.
and
That's
the other
why
thing,
I was interested.
The other
That's
thing,
why I was.
they are thankful. People are thankful for good. Because they know and they remember that you gave them this opportunity. And that's why they take very good care of the property. They take very good care on the relationship with the landlord.
Okay.
And it's awesome. And I have tons of example. But before that, I want to go to a quick commercial break. I know we have Martin and King of Prussia on the phone. We will put you on just quick commercial break. And we are going to be with Martin.
Hey,
You're clear.
Thank you, man.
how many times are you going to listen to my voice before you
Hey,
finally
Facebook
go to
YouTube people. Hey, Kimi. We're sorry. We had
I
a
can't believe
technical
you haven't signed up for a
difficulty, so
class
we
yet.
missed the
You're
first
gonna learn
5
real
minutes.
estate investing. You're
But
gonna
we
learn
are
stock
here.
options trading. You're going to learn things about money that you
And we're
didn't
still
even
waiting for you
know
to call in to
existed.
tell me what to
Go
do.
to investorschooling.com right now. Oh, my goodness. This Thursday, investorschooling.com, and take that free class.
Brian, eat.
See you there.
You say you're starving.
Hey, this is Larry Steinhouse with Investor
Actually good.
Schooling. Listen, I know sometimes you're
Thank you for
worried
that.
What
about
does that
coming
do?
to see me because you don't want to invest in
stuff.
real estate, because you don't want to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants. I'm going to teach you a way
Pepperoni
that you don't have to
bagel
deal
milk.
with toilets, trash, or tenants, or even own any real estate and invest in real estate at the same time. You want to learn this, so go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com, and take a complimentary class this Thursday. And I promise you, no toilets, no trash, no tenants. Hey, this is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. I've been talking about myself for all these years. Now it's time for you to hear from one of our great clients.
Investor Schooling lives up to the promises. Larry's a great teacher, teaches about the whole new approach to thinking about money. I've taken to heart many of the things that he's taught me, and my financial life has improved.
Come to Investor Schooling, and you could be just like Charlie and change your financial life. Go to investorschooling.com. We will see you Thursday. Hey, this is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Did you know that we have a radio show right here on WPHT every Saturday at 1 o'clock? It's called The Larry Steinhouse
some
Show.
notes before I
And you
came
want to
in.
listen to this show
Do you wanna
because
start
it's a
or I
live
start?
show and you can call
Me?
in. In fact,
Okay.
here's the call-in number.
855-939-1137.
And when you call in, you can ask us questions about real estate, the stock market, even politics.
All right, I'll give you one more minute, and then we'll come back.
You don't have to, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Oh, yeah?
Invest-
Oh, yeah?
Whatever
yeah,
you want.
come
I just
back,
don't
yeah,
want to
come
lose
back.
the...
I'm just teasing you.
I know,
teasing
you are,
All right,
always.
We're coming back right after this.
Taking
My
a
wife
free
teased me
class
as well.
on Investor Schooling. Come
She's
to
using the
Investor
hands.
You will learn so many different ways that you can make more money in retirement than you actually expected to. Go to
And I'm going to leave that right there.
Yes, please.
Leave that
Thursday.
one
That's
alone.
investorschooling.com. That's
You're coming back.
there.
Disclaimer, then music.
Thank you. And say
Paid
that I'm
for
hot.
by Investor Schooling.
You are hot.
Hello, and welcome back to the Larry Steinhouse Show. We are the special edition from the Investor Schooling headquarters here in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. So Larry is not here today, but we have two very powerful people here in the studio. This is Dr. Deb, the president of Investor Schooling, and of course, we have the stock option aviator, Brian Lerman himself. The stock option guru.
Thank
And-
you.
Yes, of course. And I'm here also, myself. I'm Omri Morad. And we have Martin on the line. Hi, Martin. How can we help you today, my friend?
Hi. Well, some months ago, Larry was talking to somebody about Medicare and Medicaid, and he kind of offhand mentioned that he had his assets in trusts, and so he was protected. And he didn't really get into whether he had revocable trusts or non-revocable trusts. And it's
Revocable.
always been bothering me. It's like, I think you have to be in a non-revocable trust to protect yourself from Medicaid, but I'm not absolutely sure. So I was wondering if that you could clarify that.
The trusts that we put our properties in are revocable trusts. They are revocable. They are not non-revocable. They are revocable trusts.
Okay. Does that really protect you from Medicaid, though? They might just say, well, then revoke them and pay us all your money.
It's a good question. I think there is a lot of shift right now with trust, but the idea behind trust, you need to remember, is not that somebody know that this is your trust, that you are the beneficiary of this trust. The idea behind trust is that nobody know who is the beneficiary. It's just there. And there is normally a 5-year look back, so you need to consider the fact that somebody will go back to see if you sold the property that was on your name in the last 5 years and put it on a trust. But I understand your concern. You say they can, if they are aware that you are the owner of the business, they can come after you and say, sell this trust, sell this property that is under a trust.
Well, revoke it. And I know they can do that on if you're sued. Like if you're sued and you have a revocable trust, and you say, I don't have any money, all my money's in the trust. And the judge says, is it a revocable trust? And you go, oh, yeah. And then the judge says, well, I order you to revoke it. And then go pay your creditor a whole bunch of money in bankruptcy or whatever. So I know that revocable trusts don't give you a lot of protection.
So
I was just wondering.
It's also a tool that allow you to change whatever you want at any given time. So I will stay with my answer. I think the idea here is to, let's say, and it's maybe the wrong term, the wrong word here, to hide your assets. When you put your assets on trusts, nobody know that those are your assets. There is a trust there, and maybe you're the beneficiary, but nobody know that you are the beneficiary of the trust. We are facing a shift with what's going on with trust recently. I know Debbie went to a webinar that explained that much better, because I'm not sure what's the current situation.
So the biggest issue with the trust, what you're talking about, is that the FinCEN rules have been changed a little bit, and people who are like drug dealers and things who are hiding money, or private lenders. So we use a lot of private lenders when we buy properties, and we're not using a regular bank. So when you're doing that, it highlights what's going on with the real estate. So there's, I guess, been a lot of money laundering with drug dealers or something. So that's why they're cracking down a little bit more on those rules for the trust when you buy properties in trusts. So now they're asking for EIN numbers so that the government can track it. And I think that started back in March, but I was able to get my property, the last one I bought, it was still under my Social Security number. And it's in a trust, so it's protected by a trust. And the only thing I have in that trust is that one property. So the only thing that's at risk is one property. It's not like I have all my properties in one trust, because that's not something that you want to do. You want to only have one property per trust, so to separate them and to protect them individually.
And the other thing is the Social Security represent the trustee, not the beneficiary. Am I correct?
So that was a very gray area, because technically the trustee does not own the property.
Correct.
They're just the trustee.
But he has the power. He controlled the trust.
He has the power and has control of the trust, but the beneficiary is the one who... So that's where, when we went to that webinar, they weren't able to answer us directly because we buy property so differently than everybody else in the world, right?
Correct.
So there was a lot of back and forth about it. So, but I can tell you that when I bought my last property, which was after the FinCEN started their regulations, and FinCEN is like whatever, I don't know what it stands for, but it's the regulatory rules for buying properties. And that, I believe, it started in March.
Yeah.
I think it was March, and I bought my property after that, and I was still able to buy my property in a trust using my Social Security number and not an EIN number.
When you say was using your Social Security number, you mean that when you open a bank account, or you talk about when you closed?
When I closed on the property.
So in the title company?
At the title company.
They wanted your social.
Yeah, they wanted my social. Now, when I did open up a bank account, because I open up a bank account always beforehand.
Correct.
And that is also with my Social Security number, not an EIN number.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah.
So I hope we answered some of your question, Martin.
Well, you talked about putting real estate in trust and all, but like I know when Medicaid kicks in, they look back like 5 years and say, did you have any money in those 5 years? If so, it ends up you have to give it to us. You know, you're supposed to be pretty much bankrupt on paper, at least. for Medicaid to pay for your whatever it is that has to pay for.
Well,
But if you weren't bankrupt 5 years ago, they're like, oh, then you need to give us that money. But if it's in a trust, and maybe if it's more than 5 years, it doesn't matter one way or the other. But maybe if it was less than 5 years, maybe it matters. I don't know. But
we put our
again, I don't know. We're talking the power of the government here with the Medicaid stuff. So I don't know whether a revocable trust is really strong enough to keep them away, I guess.
Well, we always
guess
recommend
what
putting properties in trust to protect them. And so if you're 65 and you decide to put your property into a trust, at that point it's too late. You need to give, like you said, it's a 5-year look back. So if you do it, you want to do it pretty quickly, and then this way you have 10 or 15 years, and by then the government won't know about it because it's under your social, but it's protected by the trust, right? That 5-year look back isn't. That 5-year look back is to see what's been going on with your financials for the last 5 years. And we primarily put our properties, which are, because if you sell your property and you sell it to your daughter or your son or whoever, then that's the money that they're looking for in those last 5 years. But if you have that trust and you change the beneficiary, 15 years before, they're not going to see that, right? If you sell that property. So that's why we put everything in a trust to protect ourselves.
And Martin, you need to remember as well, I'm going with your example. If you are in front of a judge and somebody is suing you or want to take your properties, this judge needs to give a court order to disclose that you, the trustee of the trust, will disclose who is the beneficiary of the trust. There is a reason why this product that called trust is out there. It's basically to say that you can own something without being the person up front that stand in front of what you own. Am I describing it correct? I don't know if my English was good enough here.
I think I know that we're talking specifically about real estate, and you're talking specifically about Medicaid or Medicare, but
it's the same thing. I think
it's the 5-year look back is
different.
still. No, Medicare and Medicaid are different, yes, but I think you're talking specifically about Medicare. But we're talking about protecting our assets.
Medicaid is what it meant.
Yeah.
Medicaid is what you meant?
Medicare doesn't. Medicaid is the one you use when you have to go to a nursing home and they're costing you
Correct,
like
yeah.
$250,000 a year. So that's when people go bankrupt. But Medicaid will pay for everything once you actually are bankrupt. But if they look back and saw that you gave away all your money, and that's why you're bankrupt, and they say, "Oh, that doesn't count. You better find a way to get that money
That's
back."
the 5-year look back.
And that's the 5-year look back. That's absolutely correct.
Correct.
Yeah, that's the 5-year look back.
But that's not Medicare. Medicare is just you pay your premiums every month and you
That's
have
something
health
else, yeah.
insurance. That's Medicare.
Right, but we talk
Yeah.
about protecting our
The only
properties.
the thing about Medicare is that they look back 2 years to see how much money you were making, and if the more money they make, the more that they charge you for your health care. That's all I know about Medicare. But
that's
they have a 2-year
that's
look
everything.
back. But it's not that you have to be bankrupt. It's just that the more money you were making, the more they charge you. That's all.
That's what we have here. You're from King of Prussia, so I believe you're familiar with what's in this state called penny, which is the version of Obamacare here in Pennsylvania, and it's exactly what you just described. You pay according to your income. It's subsidized until a certain level. And we always tell people, take the subsidy that you can, because you never know how your tax return will look in a year from now. So always do that, always take advantage. And if you made so much money in the end of the year that you need to pay back the subsidy that the government gave you for your health care, okay, good. They deserve it. I made money.
Yeah, it's always a good thing.
Yeah, of course. That's
Okay.
always.
Well, I think you answered the question as best you could at this point. So thanks very much.
Of course. Thank you very much for
And,
calling us.
Have a good day.
Of course. Thank you so much. If you have any question, please give us a call back, 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137. We still had nobody called to answer your question.
I know. I need to know what.
So-
I'm curious to see what everybody else thinks about
We have
whether or not I
15
should.
more minutes for the
Yeah.
show. And Debbie want to know if she should accept this tenant.
Yeah.
855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137. I also want to talk to the pro about the stocks.
I know. I was just going to say we should.
But maybe we'll save it for the next hour, because yesterday I stormed into his office and we're trying to make a decision, and it's fabulous. I think what we teach here and what we do here with the stocks and the covered call in the last few years. It's just
the last
insane.
year has been pretty crazy with that. Yeah.
It's just insane. I want to tell you that, and to try to sum it up, and hopefully somebody will call us back. Not back. Somebody will call us and tell us what they think about accepting a person with a 550 credit score or with application that maybe is not appealing to you so much.
Yeah.
855-939-1137. I'll tell you that. To me, empty property cost me money as well.
I know. That's the whole point. It been empty for like 3 months. I need to get it
rented. Cost me money. And then there is a scale between how much it costs me right now when it's empty and how much it will cost me tomorrow when people will leave and I will need to redo the place. I'm working, as I said, with many people that are through our organization. They need help. They are being guided by caseworkers and all that. And as sometimes when I go to those properties and I walk inside, I am so sad. I just did appraisals for my properties, and I had to go with the appraisal in all the properties.
An appraiser, you mean?
Appraisal.
You had somebody go out and appraise them?
Yeah. The bank appraised all my properties.
Okay, so you went out with an appraiser to appraise your properties?
I appreciate you.
No, I'm asking.
No, you're right.
I'm just asking because the way you're saying it is confusing, and I'm trying to understand.
I went with the appraiser.
Okay, got it.
To see all the properties.
Okay.
And in some of them, when I walked in, I said, "Oh my God, what I have to do to this property when
they move out." Okay.
Because it's uncanny sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's hard because yes, we don't want to have an empty property, but sometimes accepting the wrong tenant can cost us thousands and thousands and thousands when they move out.
Right.
If they move out, when they move out, yeah.
Yeah.
So I know that obviously you guys and Larry teach a lot of this stuff here at the school, best practices for getting a tenant, how to be the best landlord, because what is it? There's no bad landlords, or there's no bad tenants.
There are no bad tenants, there are only bad landlords.
Right.
Yeah.
So one thing you mentioned, Deb, was when you were describing the scenario, you said that in the I believe it was the credit report, that the prospect tenant said that they had to move because the owner was selling the property.
Right, which is a big red flag.
You said that was a red flag. So what do you mean by that?
Because that's what everybody always says, right? Oh, I have to move because my landlord's selling. Mm-hmm. And usually that's a red flag because it's usually a lie. Okay.
It was a red flag years ago. What happened in the summer of 22 and 23 and 24, 23, 24 were the highest. Property value became so high that so many investors sold their properties. They didn't sell them many times with the tenant inside. They wanted to get the max they can because the market is so high. So they tell the tenant, 60-day notice, you need to move out. And then they painted a bit and they sold, and they were running all the way, laughing to the bank, right? Because their $50,000 or $100,000 property worth $200,000 now, and they couldn't believe it happened. Mm-hmm. So we did see a lot of investors, a lot of landlords that are selling. And I don't know if it's such a red flag. Back then, yes, but you can always basically blow this claim away when you call the previous landlord.
Right. So that's the other thing, because I told them that I'd be back at home today at 4:35, and I'll send them the paperwork. And on the application, I need to get the landlord's information so I can call and say. And then that's the other thing, that instead of saying, "Hey, how was your tenant?" it's more like, "Hey, I heard that there were problems. Tell me about your problems." Mm-hmm. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Well, he told me that there were problems. Tell me about your problems. And sometimes it's interesting because Larry recommends.
I love
that.
the response.
Because you're like, "I'm surprised he told you," or well, they were late a couple times, or, they said that and then one time this lady was telling me for 20 minutes, she was bitching to me about some potential tenant. And I'm like, Oh, okay, great.
I know, we want to hear.
Yeah, we want to hear what's going on. Tell me about this and tell me about that. And then, and then you're kind of playing both sides, right? Because you're playing, hey, what'd you do about that? Or how'd you handle that? Or whatever. Or tell me more so I knew, you whatever. And then you can kind of make a decision and go back and forth from there. But it's always interesting. Yeah. So, I mean, I do have to call the previous tenant to see what's going on and see if he validates, that they're moving. But it sounds like... Usually you can call, BS pretty quickly, but I'm telling you that the hope and tension and stress, you could hear it in his voice. And I'm like, something's going on here that, maybe this guy is actually telling the truth, and he's scrambling to find a place for his family so that they have somewhere to go. And I'm like, and I think that's why I'm even bringing it up, because usually I'd be like, yeah, whatever, but the way I'm telling you that you could just hear it in his voice that something's really going on.
I remember a few years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, a situation that back then I was very eager to rent everything I could, and it was during COVID and everything took too long, and I went to show the unit to a single mom that came with 4 kids. And I was with my kids. I think we've been somewhere, and I think it was on the way back, and we stopped there and they showed her the house, and it was just fabulous because you saw how much they need this place.
Yeah.
And the daughter, I think she was 5 or 6 year old, she went to her little brother and she said to the little brother, stop running around, stop doing that. Those people won't give us this nice house.
Aw.
And she gave me the information, and maybe she filled up the application. I really don't remember. And on the way back home, I did the call to the previous landlord, and I heard what I heard. And I remember that both me and my wife started to cry in the car, because you want to give people the opportunity, and sometimes there is a big conflict between the fact that this is a business, and we have to make a living out of this business because that's the way it works. This is the job for us. To the fact that some people needs the opportunity, but not everybody, unfortunately, deserve the opportunity, and it's horrible. It can tear you apart in this profession.
Yeah.
So that's that. So 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137. We have few more minutes, and then we will have another hour.
And then Brian will be talking all about, stock options, because he was quiet this
Because he's the stock option. Have you recorded me to do a ringtone to your phone? I think we did it once. I don't know if you used it.
Yeah, I have some voice memo recordings, but then you modified them as time went on, and you've gone back to the old one.
It's funny. I'm so happy. I like to make people happy. I think that's the point. And when you go, because it's your show and you're the star, I'm not saying anything, but it's funny when people know that you're coming, they look back to see if I will make the noise. And it's hilarious. It's hilarious. If you haven't been here in Investor Schooling, you really, really should. Don't think about what I will learn. Don't think about if it's for me. Don't think about all that. Just come and have fun. And we promise you will, because this is who we are. We are fun. It's all about fun. And that's what I teach my kids, and that's how we believe that is the right way to learn about financial literacy. If you teach it like that and you do it, nobody will listen. We do it in a low grade level, in a fun way that can appeal to everyone. So please go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com, and we'll be very, very happy to have you here for a free Thursday night class. investorschooling.com.
It's funny you say that, because I attended a 3-day seminar where they were teaching
the Zoom one?
The Zoom one.
Oh my God.
It's awful.
So you need to understand,
so
listeners, Brian put the Zoom in the big screen in the class. And
all day. It went all
day. And I wanted to bang my head through the wall.
That was awful.
So it was the most boring thing that I had seen in probably 35 years. It was just like you were describing. In fact, when you said that, it reminded me of it. It's like we don't teach in this monotone way, and you're going to learn what a call is and learn what a. This is how these people were talking.
I know.
And it was awful.
They repeat things.
Yeah,
They said the same thing over and over and over. And I'm like, oh my God, what's going on here?
It reminded me of Ferris Bueller's Day Off when he's in class and the teacher's like Bueller, and there's like kids staring at the walls and drools coming out of their mouth. They don't even know it.
So, yeah, I can remember walking in and I'm like, what is this? And he's like, Brian's watching. I'm like, well, Brian's
No,
nowhere
that's not
even
what
in
happened.
here.
You walked in and we were putting together a chair and you go, can I turn this off? That's what you said. And then we were like, no, I'm watching it.
Yeah, but
you're like, okay.
But half the time you weren't even in there watching it.
I could hear it though because I had the volume up loud enough that I could hear it anywhere in the building.
Yeah, that was the problem. Yeah, so we're putting these chairs together and then we're watching this. And for I think 20 minutes we were in there, and the guy said the same thing. He could have summed it all up in like a minute and a half. He kept saying the same thing over and over.
I
again in
know.
20 minutes. Oh, it was awful.
So
It was awful.
I think that's what people don't understand.
You think?
If I think.
You think? You
Well,
think?
that's exactly why investor schooling exists. We understand that unfortunately there are too many places that believe that financial literacy need to be delivered to the people in this way because it's a serious subject. Yes, it's a serious subject, but even a serious subject can be taught in a fun way, and in that way it will reach more people in an easier way. And you know what? My kids will just testify that it works. Yeah. It works. When you do it in a boring way, it never works. And some people don't have the ability to sit with a notebook and to write lines and all that. When it's fun and it comes with some melody with it, and it's funny. We have so many sentences, right, that are running around in this building about stocks, about real estate, right?
So many sentences?
Sentences, rules that we say, and we say them in kind of a melody, right?
Yeah.
Never sell in a... never sell in an off day.
Okay.
We know those sentences. They come with the melody, and that's why people coming here, and that's why what we deliver them sticks in, and it's great. We have 1 more minute. Do you want to say anything?
And was it Stan? I don't know if that's Stan. I guess maybe it's Stan. On the chat, he says that...
Mike.
Sorry, that's Stan online. I think it's Stan that called us or is chatting with us. He said also mentioned that friendships start at investor school.
Many.
So we obviously we're teaching something, but we're also a massive community of like-minded people that we're not even... Everybody comes from all different places and with different knowledge levels, and we're all really friendly.
Correct. So go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com. My name is Omri Morad. In the studio with me is Brian Lerman and Dr. Deb, and we'll be here for another hour, so stay with us. Go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com, and please RSVP and attend a free class this coming Thursday. Bye-bye.
This program is paid for by investors.
You are clear.
Thank you.
Program are solely those
Starting back up at 2 after.
Thank you so
of
much.
WPHT or Odyssey.
Alcoholics Anonymous. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There is a solution. You can find us at aa.org.
WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios, powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Our yoga instructor challenged us to find inner peace. I found it faster than anyone. After 4 seconds, I stood up and screamed, I found her!
At the end of the show, I have some information to give you, Dr. Dub.
Okay, no problem.
Bet365 does, though. New customers get $200 in bonus bets just for betting $10. Namaste, losers. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tee at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
1 minute to intro.
In digital advertising, everyone talks about clicks, but clicks don't pay
You
the
do the
bills.
intro again?
Sales do. Outcomes from
Yeah,
buying
why? It was
and
good.
selling
It was
to
actually great, and now
advertise.
everything works.
Advertises your bottom
I don't
line.
have a second intro.
Our AI
You don't need a second
technology
intro.
looks
Do the same
past
one.
Fine,
Do the
yeah.
same
to
one.
find the
Don't worry about
customers
it.
It was good. I
most
thought
likely to
it
buy
was
your
It was great.
product. It's smarter.
It's too long.
Faster.
No,
No,
it was
it's
good.
fine.
For
No, it was
real-world
good.
results. It's smarter advertising made simple. Visit Viant.ai.
I don't know. Maybe we should just
Wesley
start.
Financial Group is not
No,
a law
that's fine.
firm, and Chuck McDowell,
You done one?
I don't know. It's too long.
Shut up and do
So-
it.
No.
stupid.
Shut up and do it.
So obviously, you don't need to stay locked in place, Brian, but like just try to be a little bit aware of your microphone.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a statue.
Yeah. As soon as you said that,
Or
I was like, oh
Wesley
my god!
Financial Group
I was
for help
screaming,
today.
and my lips
Call
were right
Wesley
on the
now for your
microphone.
free
So I could just imagine the crackling
939-1441.
on somebody's car
You're
stereo.
fine. You're fine.
Yeah.
1440.
Here we go.
Investor Schooling. All opinions or statements expressed on the program are solely those of Investor Schooling or their guests and do not reflect the opinions of WPHT or Odyssey.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Premium
Do I'm your
Automobile
captain.
Studios, powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
Whatever you want.
You're hot.
Free Odyssey app. The Larry
And
Steinhouse
Brian is
Show.
going to do his thing.
Good afternoon, listeners. Welcome to the Larry Steinhouse Show. I was told I had to do a second intro because my first one was so good, but I didn't write a second intro.
Do the same one again. You are awesome.
All right, my name's Brian Larman, and I'm here today, and I'm stepping into the captain's seat as the...
Stock option aviator.
That was horrible.
I know.
You
We're
want
waiting
me
for
to
you
do?
to come
You want
on.
me to do this? The
I
voice?
want you to do the short one.
That's the stock option aviator.
No, the one that trails out.
Stock.
Yeah, that one that you do in the bathroom.
So exactly, we are in a closed studio. The smell can scare you out. I don't want to do that.
Oh my God, you guys are gross. You guys
Okay,
are gross.
All right,
appreciate
listeners,
it.
today's show is about to take flight from Investor Schooling headquarters located here in Langhorne, PA. Joining me here is the one and only Omri Morad. Morad.
Yes.
I finally said it right after 6 months.
Yes.
Omri, he's better known as Omri the Immigrant, or Omri the worst landlord turned into the best landlord. He is a real estate investing powerhouse, the proud owner of a mobile home park in Ruston, Florida. And he's a real estate coach here at Investor Schooling. And sitting to my left is the beautiful Dr. Deb Anderson. I like to call her Madam President because she is the president of Investor Schooling. The smartest person you'll ever meet. She's built millions in real estate through rentals, tax deeds, note investing, and land flipping. A powerhouse when it comes to mindset, motivation, and execution. I think you just gave a lecture on execution, like
I did,
taking
actually.
action, right?
Ooh,
Yeah, just
It's a very, very hard thing.
Execution.
That's right. So the team is here.
You missed it,
and
Omri. You missed it.
we're coming at you from the only brick and mortar financial education center here on the East Coast, known as
Investor Schooling. That's investorschooling.com.
.com. That's right. We're on the internet, but we also have the actual school here where you can join us at 7 p.m. every Thursday, where 200 people show up to learn how to make money. And of course, we operate under the founder himself, Mr. Larry Steinhouse, who is on vacation right now. He decided to go get some sun, and he is on a cruise. But his message is here resonating with us. And what's his message that's on his best-selling book called Money Hacks?
That's
Omri?
because everything you know
You
about
think you know.
money, I know, but it said everything you know about money is wrong, which is very true.
All right, so what we're talking about today, we'll dive into the stock market, real estate market, income strategies, money mindset, and how to stop doing financial things that broke people do. So thanks for tuning in with us. If you want to check us out online, you can go to
investorschooling.com.
That's right, and meet us this Thursday at 7 p.m. Call us with your questions. We want to hear from you. Want to know if you should get into the stock market or if you should get out, if you're doing it right. Are you doing it wrong? If you're sitting on cash and don't know where to start, perhaps you want to get into real estate and figure out what your next deal is, or you're trying to fix a deal that you're in. Call us.
855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. 939-1137.
That's right. Whether you're brand new or been investing for years, this is your chance to ask us questions and change everything. So let's get started with round 2.
So I want to tell you, you said something here. Maybe I didn't hear it before, or maybe you said it now. You said if people are sitting on cash. You know what I found out? I had the dinner yesterday, like a dinner with friends, and
I don't remember being invited to that one.
You don't know them, and they don't want to know you. The problem, and I started to explain, because Tamar started to talk about that. I don't like to talk too much about the covered calls because it's hard to explain.
Yeah.
And it's when it's out there, you need to sit with people. And normally I need a flip chart to show them how in every scenario, you had a great presentation about that a few weeks ago, how in every scenario you are a winner when you follow the covered call rules. And it's awesome. And the guy came to me and he said, I have a Charles Schwab account. I said, can I see your Charles Schwab account? And he's not approved for option and all that. It's not relevant. But he showed me his account. And I was surprised because I said to myself, how many people actually have the drawer stock that they hold in their Charles Schwab or anywhere account, and they don't know. They don't need to sit on cash. They can sit on stocks, but those stocks just sit in their account. They're doing nothing with them.
Yeah.
And during the time they're holding the stock and waiting for them to go up, maybe just to give them to their kids, right? They don't understand how much money they can make over, or they can make on those stocks during that time. And that's amazing.
So one thing I've noticed with some of the students that come in that are in that exact same profile, they've been buying stocks for 30 years, buy and hold strategy, and it's done them very, very well. And they've picked, good stocks. A lot of these people are coming in with good stocks in their Schwab accounts or whatever account they're using. And so that's great. But what's changed in their life is that they're now older, and they're looking at the possibility.
They need the income.
They're looking at the possibility that they won't have the steady income anymore because they're looking to retire, or they're looking to go do something else, or maybe just go vacation, whatever. And so they've done really well in their W-2 job, and they've done very well with their investing, even though they weren't really paying attention to it. They were just buying stocks, or maybe they just acquired a lot of assets.
Yeah.
But they don't know anything about options, and they don't know how they could take that money, those stocks, and generate income off of it by just taking advantage of something that exists already in the option marketplace that nobody, well, I mean, a lot of people know about it, but I would say the majority of people don't know about it.
Correct.
And at any given time, that's why I tell the people this, at any given time, there is a marketplace out there where you can sell something. You're not even selling something. You could sell the right to buy something you own that you've owned for 30 years, and somebody will give you money for just the right to buy it at a certain price at a certain date. And that's all an option is, right? The option to buy or sell a stock at a certain price on or before a certain date.
And some people think, oh no, but wait, maybe they will execute the option and then I won't have my stock again.
Right.
Guess what? Buy it again.
Yeah.
That's the idea. That's why it works so well.
Right.
And you're listening to that from the stock option aviator himself, Brian Lerman.
Well, what's best is when they're in an IRA account.
I know.
And now they listen, like people come in here, I'm not going to put any names. Like we've had people come in here with over $1 million of stocks in their IRA account, and they're like, hey, how do I make some income off this? And I'm like, dude, quit your job right now because you don't ever have to work again. You can make 4% on average. You could just the option marketplace.
Because there's no margin on an IRA, right?
No margin.
Yeah.
No margin. But I mean, the good stocks that we deal with, the premiums that we're selling on stuff that we own, typically on average, we can usually squeeze out about 4% out of that. Some of them are lower, some of them are higher. Depends on what risk level you want to take.
It average at 4%.
Right. So if you have $1 million,
yeah,
and you want to just use that to generate income, you could get
$40,000
a month.
A month. Yes.
And if it's in an IRA, then it's you're only taxed on what you have to pull out, or not even taxed on that, right? But you have to pull some of it out. So
only at retirement.
On retirement, yeah. So you could grow it. I mean, so that's just one person, one situation where you may be in that situation and you're wondering, how can I squeeze out $10,000 a month or $15,000 a month? And I'm like, how about $40,000 a month?
You can save and make money over your stock, and in the meantime, generate income from those stocks, generate income from this account. So it sounds like a fairy tale, but it works and it's true. And we developed here in the school the system and the rule how to make it work right. So you have two options and you can execute both of those options. You can call us right now at 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. We'll be very happy to talk to you about that, to explain, to hear where you're at, the situation you're at, what are you looking to do, or maybe even better, go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com and RSVP for a free, yes, it's free class this coming Thursday. Investorschooling.com.
Yeah, and that's on one end of the spectrum, right? That is a very unique situation for one person.
Yeah.
Now, we have people that come in that don't have $1 million, right? Well,
or don't have stocks at all even.
Don't have stocks at all. So what I was talking about there was, you come in with some money. Yeah, you could do a covered call strategy to produce income. Well, let's say you only have $1,000 or $2,000. Well, on the flip side in the option world, so we were talking about selling calls, which is your covered call. You own something and you sell a call on it. That's a covered call. On the flip side is you can buy options, right? That's primarily what Larry used to teach here, was how do you buy options, and he has all the rules that he came up with that present buying opportunities and allow you to minimize the risks of entering a position with buying a call. But you can buy a call for very, very cheap, and we've had just recently several students have done really, really well on that. People making one person went up 30% in one day. Another one, we try to tell people, once you've reached 30%, go ahead and get out of that option, right, and take your money and run.
Yeah.
But we've had students that are learning how to do that, and depending on how expensive the stock is, you can get in for a couple $100 and buy the option to own something, and you hope the value of that contract goes up in value, and then you can sell it back for a profit. There's many, many different ways to make money using options, and we try to teach it in a very simplistic way. Obviously, you can get into more strategies that are really, really complicated. That's not primarily what we do here, but we can. But the covered call stuff is extremely simple to learn.
Yeah, very, very simple to learn, and it's really can appeal to everybody. If you own stock, if you dealt with stock before, if you never even had anything in stock market and you don't know even where to start, this is a very simple way. And yes, we know that you heard from your grandmother or your uncle, stock option, it's so risky, you will lose all your money. No. Yes, there is a way to do it. It's called YouTube or listening to your friends. But if you learn how to do it and you mediate your risk and you understand your risk and you expose yourself only to the risk that you accept to take, it's all different. And with the covered call that we are doing, the risk right now, I think, to me at least, the way I see it, it's the lowest risk ever if you consider anything, even buy and hold. Because if anything, if you compare covered calls to buy and hold, with covered calls, you have like a compensation gift if your stock goes down, which is the premium.
Right.
When you buy and hold, when the stock go down, and you just need to wait for it to go up.
Right, but I do want to throw out here that, we talk about different strategies of making money and different ways to protect yourself. So, and I think, listen, I'm all for the covered call strategy, and, I think there's not too many people who, I think everybody at the school is making money on it. Like, no matter how much they have in the account, they're making money on it, including myself, right? So we're all making money on it. But you also want to diversify. You don't want to put all your money in covered calls.
I agree.
So you definitely want to diversify. So we always talk about, real estate, or you could do private lending, or you could do the infinite banking policies, or you could do velocity banking, or you could do crypto, or you could do, we were doing the nodes. While I think it's great, and I'm very much in favor of the covered calls, I still think that you need to do other diversifications. And I'll be the first to admit that you're going to get a better return on covered calls than you're going to get on real estate, because real estate is more annually, where covered call is more monthly.
It made many real estate investor that started to do covered call to rethink
it.
Now the 1% rule don't work as good.
Right. So the 1%, it's not as nice. Right?
I know it's not.
But
as
you
nice.
also still need to diversify, because if the market goes down or something, you still have your real estate to back you up, right? So you don't want to just only do the covered calls. So you want to have multiple things in there.
We had a great test, I believe. Maybe it wasn't a catastrophe time, but we had a great test in the last trading day on. When was it? I think April 4th, April 6th. I don't remember anymore. I think
first
April
Monday.
6th,
Whatever the first Monday was.
That even when the market goes down, severely down, you will still make amazing return.
You'll still make money. Yeah,
you will
still
still make amazing return. And I will tell you another thing, and that's maybe relate to what I came to Brian with yesterday in the office. When the stock goes down, nobody is pushing you to sell the option on the stocks. You don't have to sell the option. You can, like Brian presented in the presentation a few weeks ago, you can just wait and let the stock rise back up. I will tell you that on Monday, in the first Monday of the month, when I tried to sell, I think it was AAL, Stellantis, and it was Conagra. When I tried to sell the options, I got peanuts, because I didn't want to sell under my purchase price, under my cost.
Yeah.
And I got peanuts. I said, you know what? I'm staying. I'm not selling the option. I'm waiting. I'm holding the stock, and I will see what will happen. And Larry told me, no, it's $500 today. I think it was in lunch. He said, it's $500 today. You don't know what it will be tomorrow. I get the point. He was right. But I said, you know what? I don't need the $500 today. I will wait. And I waited another day. And yesterday, I entered the aviator's office and I said, listen, the stock is at the point that I can make $1,500 today. I think it was $1,300 today. Yesterday, it was only $500. I can make $1,300 today, or I can still sit aside and let the stock go back up and enjoy that. So I think we need to remember, nobody is forcing us. Nobody is telling us, you have to sell the option. You sell, you will make the money. But you can do whatever you want. And it works. And it works fabulously. If you go by the rules, it works fabulously. So if you want to know what the hell we are talking about, give us a call. 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. And of course, go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com and RSVP for a free class this coming Thursday. Investorschooling.com.
So I have a question for Brian.
Sure.
So I know that when you came to the school, you didn't know anything about stock options, and this was all new to you. But you have gone over and above and really surpassed Larry and how to do all this. But what made you, what drove you to do that? Because you were learning how to do it, and what made you try to figure out this premium versus that premium, or the stock market does this, and this, when this goes up, this goes down? Because remember, I was in your office a couple of days ago, and you're like, you see how this came up, and then it came down, and then it went up higher, and then it went down, and then it went up higher, and then it went down, and I'm looking at it like, I'm not sure what I'm looking at. Yeah, and I can't look at it and understand what because you're trying to show this to me, and I just didn't know what you were trying to show me. But how?
Well, it started with trying to. So you can trade options and you don't really necessarily need to know 100% why the premium is the price that it is. You can compare different options to other options and figure out which one you want to deploy. But I wanted to know why they were different and why they're different today than they are tomorrow. And really, I wanted to understand some of the mechanics behind how they gain value, how they lose value, how time value decays, and when you start to be inquisitive about that sort of thing, you start to stumble on things that then lead to something else, which then leads to something else, and so that started during the covered call challenge that Larry created last year, and I was selling calls on stocks that I owned up to that point, so I was doing covered calls. And then when he challenged everybody, and you put a bunch of people in a room where they're competing against each other, and then you find that you're curious to try to get an edge, right? If we all know the same stuff, how can any of us win? If we're all going to do equally well, based because we all have the same knowledge. Well, that's where I said, okay, I need to know more then. And at the time, we were in earnings week. Earnings cycle had pretty much just started. So we had 2 months where the further we got along, the more and more deeper into the earnings season we got, and more and more stocks were in earnings. And I was like, okay, I got to take a little more risk to get a little more premium so that I can have a chance to win. But also trying to balance that risk with the choice of the stock that I'm doing. Well, that sent me down the road then of really understanding how volatility works, how implied volatility works, how the pricing goes into these options, and why they're bigger on earnings week, and blah 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 blah. And that's that to me was my path. It doesn't have to be everybody's path. It certainly doesn't need to be everybody's path. If you want to come and learn how to do options, you don't need to know all that stuff. Although I talk about it, and anyway, that's kind of that's how my mind works. So I was interested in it too. So,
I know, but now you have these you have this massive screen in your office, and then you have smaller screens in your office, and you have this outline of all the stuff. What is it that you're looking
so
at now?
I am always curious to learn something new. So I want to listen to people that are doing this. They might be doing it different than I am. I want to learn from them. I want to know what they know, right? And so that at least I can make a decision on whether or not I want to do that or not. And so you start to come across techniques that people use, and there's so many different strategies with options that really you don't need to know. I mean, if you want to know them, you can, but there's so many technical indicators. There's so many studies and things that track trends and percentages, and that's the things on that screen that you're seeing are just little tiny indicators that I've picked up along the way from people that deemed that indicator was important to them based on whatever strategy they were using. And so I've adopted some of it, and I haven't adopted all of it, but what you're seeing is just some indicators that fit into helping me do a strategy that I'm doing right now. That's all it is.
Okay.
So it's only on one stock. It's not even a stock. It's an index, the SPX, and but I can apply that to any stock, but I don't need to. I can just look at a chart and tell that it's steak and tuna. So
yeah. And then I also saw that you have a stack of books that you were going through some of the older books just to see if there were any little tidbits or anything that you could learn in there.
Yeah, I mean, I tell people this when I'm in coaching calls. I'm like, I have a stack of options books that I keep around so that when the zombie apocalypse comes, I can create a fire and keep myself warm with it all. Because if you've ever picked up an option book on options, it's hard. It's a hard read, and I mean, even now, if I pick one up, if I'm not actively doing a particular strategy, then you're not, you gotta stay current, and your mind has to be wrapped around how this strategy works and how to maximize it. So if you did all of them, you'd be a master at none of them. If you find a couple that work for you and you're able to master it, that's great. And so when you pick up a book, typically they're telling you about everything. You could do all these different things.
Okay.
And it's hard to put it into application unless somebody's showing you what they're doing, which is kind of what we do here at the school, right?
Yeah,
People come here and we're like, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing with covered calls. This is what we're doing with buying calls. This is what we're doing when we buy puts. And we can show you our results. We can show you the rules surrounding these few strategies that Larry has put together and teaches very well. And then once you learn that, which takes a while, then depending on how much time you have and what you want to do, we can explore other ways to make money with options. That's all I do is options. So when you guys are, you start talking about real estate and stuff, I'm start staring at the wall and thinking about what I'm going to do tomorrow. And
that's okay. I stare at the wall when you start talking about cover calls and all your option strategies, and I'm just like, okay, la-di-da, I don't know what's going on.
Well, that's how I know. So when I'm preparing a lecture to teach the class, I start to tell Ken about it or speak to some of the points that I'm going to make. And two things happen. Either Ken puts his headphones back on and goes back to what he's doing, or he falls asleep. And that's how I know if I'm going down the wrong road.
Okay.
If one of those two things happens.
Okay. I know that we were away in San Diego when you did your one class about when the market is down, and I haven't had a chance to watch that one yet. So I do need to.
That was pretty data intensive, a lot of spreadsheets and stuff. But because at the time,
I heard it was really good.
Well, at the time, we were when you are selling covered calls, you're exposed to the stock market because you own stocks, and so if the stock market goes down 10%, well, your stocks have gone down probably 10% as well, right? When the market's going down, it'll drag 3 out of 4 stocks with it. It's kind of what people say, and there's not much you can do about it. But while it's doing that, you're selling premium, you're selling options, and you're bringing in some premium, which is good. And the point of that lecture was, well, okay, how do we ride it back up? Well, let's talk about what riding it back up looks like. Like, how quickly can we ride it back up? Because you are limited anytime, like Omri was saying, anytime you sell a call, and he had American Airlines, which he said was AAL, that's the ticker symbol, and it was down. And so he looked at selling very, very deep out of the money options, strikes, and they weren't bringing in any premiums.
No,
so
zero.
It's almost like, well, then what am I doing? Like, why am I even doing this if I'm not going to generate any money off the premiums? And you just answered your own question. Well, then don't do anything.
Yeah.
Right. So that is an option. And what I was going to say though, when the market was on its way down in February, the volatility was climbing while the market is going down. We like to look at the VIX, the indicator, and that was climbing. And so these premiums that we were selling on stocks that we owned were huge because the volatility had gone up in the marketplace.
During January and February, I made good money on SLV, for example.
So we sold options in the beginning of March that we had new students come in the middle of March, and they began to sell options, and I lined them up with April 6th, which was our trading day. So in the fund and with all the Onyx students, we had traded out 30 days or however many days it was for the month. And we received, we made, I think 8% or something was our, we were obviously using margin and stuff, but I had students come in the middle of March, traded for 15 days. They sold options for 12 to 15 days.
Exactly.
And they were making 10 to 11%. So they made more over less days than we did over 30 because the volatility had gone up significantly.
Yes.
So when you ask me, why do I care about these things? Like, that's why. Like, so I would, if I was just paying attention, I would say, wait a minute, how come these premiums are so big right now? And I'd want to go out and try to find the answer for that. And that's kind of what I did last year, was start to go out and find the answer to all that.
Okay.
I sold in the beginning of April the option for Amazon at $2.15. And I kept being conflicted because it was enough. I said, because my cost is $2.10. And I said, I'm going to do $2.10 and have the high premium, or maybe I will use this extra $5 per share to recover my account from the February. And I said yes, no, yeah. And then I decided to do $2.15. A week later, it reached $2.50.
Yeah.
I was amazed. Now, what people don't understand, it's not don't understand. You need to change your point of view, change your mindset a bit. Yes, correct. You only make the premium on the stock, or you only make the premium plus the delta, the difference between your cost on the stock and what you sold the stock for in the option. Don't be too afraid. Because the same way that the stock went up and the person who bought the option from you made big bucks, your stock could go very down and they
Yeah.
will lose all their money,
Yep.
and you will still get the premium. It will be in your pocket. So we don't know what will happen. We always say the same thing about earnings, right? We said holdover earnings.
No, typically we don't want to, but we will in monthlies. Yeah.
Correct, because
we don't have any other. Sometimes we don't have any other option if we have to make plays. But you don't. There's some things we do where we have to make plays, like in the fund. But then there's, if you're just doing this on your own, you don't have to
I
make
think
a play.
the bottom line is we don't know what affect the stock market.
So right, so the premiums, if you sell an option contract, if you sell a call and that time frame extends over earnings, then the premium is going to be a lot bigger because there's more volatility because of the earnings date is in there. So
correct, yeah, but we don't know what will happen.
Well, why is the volatility higher when the earnings date is in there?
Because we don't
know what will happen.
Because we don't know what will happen.
Because we don't know what will happen.
It's more casino.
Okay.
It's not, but
it's riskier. It's riskier.
It's riskier because
so the volatility is higher.
So at the because the earning date's every 3 months, right?
Yeah.
So if you're holding options over earnings, then you'll get more premium because you don't know what's going to happen on the earnings.
Well,
date.
you get more premium because there's more volatility in the pricing of that option.
There's more speculation around the earnings.
Okay.
Around the earnings, there are more speculation, and those speculation create more Am I correct?
There's more risk. You said because you don't know what's going to happen. Well, I mean, yeah, layman's terms, kind of, yeah, we don't know what's going to happen.
Okay.
So if you're betting on something you don't know what's going to happen, it's a riskier bet.
Okay.
So if you want to join this conversation, or if you just want to figure out what the hell we're talking about, give us a call back, 855-939-1137. Why I say back all the time?
I don't know.
Give us a call,
855
855-939-1137.
I love you.
855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. I promise you, it's not even slightly complicated as it sounds. Not even slightly. 855-939-1137. And if you want to get the full package, go to Investor School. Can I say the full package on the radio?
Yeah, you can say full package.
Okay. Go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com and RSVP for a free class this Thursday. Let's go to commercial break.
This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Did you
clear
real estate with absolutely no money out of your pocket? That's right. If you've listened to our show or if you read my book, Money Hacks, I talk about how to buy real estate with absolutely no money out of your pocket. You should come this Thursday night to a complimentary class at Investor Schooling and learn more. Learn how to buy properties with no money. Learn how to make money at closings and learn how to make a monthly income. Go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com. Take your complimentary class
Middle of the
this Thursday.
show, and I'm alone in the studio. Both my
This
co-hosts
is Larry
left
Steinhouse
me.
with Investor Schooling.
I don't know what's
Listen,
going
you
on
need
here.
to take a complimentary class this Thursday. You need to learn how to invest in real estate.
You need to stop passing gas.
No,
You need to learn how to invest in stock options.
I don't know
and
what
you
to
need
say.
to learn how
They
to
both
make
just
more money
left
than
the
you've ever
studio.
made before. Why aren't you here? Come to investorschooling.com. Take a complimentary class this Thursday and learn.
Your out times are the same. 59 for your music.
Yes, it's fine. Thank you
Hard
so
out,
much.
59:30.
Thanks, my friend.
This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Listen, I can't tell you everything we do in 30 seconds. So you need to come to class this Thursday night, and you need to learn and spend some time with us to see how you can make more money than you've ever made before. That's right. We'll teach you ways that you've never even heard of to make money. So go to investorschooling.com and sign up for this Thursday night's class. Take your complimentary class this Thursday. That's investorschooling.com. We'll see you there. Hey, this is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Did you know that there are a lot of altruistic reasons that you should become a real estate investor?
Altruistic?
That's right. You get to rent houses to really nice people who need houses. And you know what? When there's a housing shortage and you have a house for them, they are so happy. I've actually gotten hugs from tenants. So come to investorschooling.com and you will learn how to be a landlord the right way. That's right. We have a complimentary class this Thursday night. And this way, you can get hugs from your tenants too. Go to investorschooling.com. We'll see you Thursday night at 7 o'clock.
All right. How about 30 seconds?
We good.
Charity we formed called Lev 27. Lev 27 is a charity that helps people stay in their homes. Look, sometimes life happens. Many people live paycheck to paycheck, and if suddenly something happens and they can't afford to pay,
You'll get the disclaimer, then You'll hear the music.
All right.
And when you hear the
Thanks.
music, you're back.
27.org. That's left27.org to find out how you can help.
No calls right now.
This program is paid for by Investor Schooling.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's the music.
Kind of sounds like We Will Rock You.
Yeah, I know. We will rock you. We will rock you, by the way. You just need to go to investorschooling.com, and we promise that this coming Thursday at 7 p.m., we will rock you. What? Brian is what?
No,
No, I'm actually looking
Yeah,
on.
you have no idea what was going on here before the commercial, okay? So the minute the commercial started, both my co-hosts left the studio, and I was alone here for a second. I wasn't sure if we are even continuing or not. I said, wait, maybe they think it's over? I don't know. And Debbie is playing with her phone.
No, I'm actually okay. So hold on. What?
Yes.
Because I'm looking, and I'm actually looking at us live for the first hour, and then Larry says, "Hey, Brian looks so bored." Probably because we were talking about real estate, and you're like, "Yeah, not interested." But it's funny because when you start going off and doing your stuff, I'm like, I don't understand what's going on either. So it's just kind of funny how that works out.
Did my RBF come up?
RBF?
You're a resting bitch face.
You can't say that. Can you?
Yeah, you can't say
You just said
curse words.
the B word.
You could say bitch on the radio.
Glenn, please help us.
Stop.
And if Glenn, if we can't say it, just dump it. But you could say that on the radio, can't you?
You can say it. I mean,
Not like repetitively.
try not to do it all the time, but
Whatever.
Yeah, can you stop and close that? Thank you. So
I was
welcome back.
I was looking at the comments that for whatever reason didn't show up here, so that's why I was looking to see what happened. Would you calm down?
And was there anything important on there?
No, clearly not.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Thank
looked
you. I
bored?
appreciate it.
Apparently, you look bored. Nancy had a question, but if she wants to know the answer,
Exactly.
she has to call in.
What's the number?
855-939-1137.
Ooh, that's 855-939-1137. Nancy, please give us a call back. The fact that you're a student doesn't mean you don't need to call anymore. 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. So yes, we dived into stocks this hour.
Yeah, it's okay. It's
I
all
know,
good.
which
We
is
did-
awesome. We did one on real estate and one on stocks.
You know, I have a question for Brian, actually. I do have
Sure.
another question for Brian. One of the things that we always talk about is, pick your 6 stocks and follow your 6 stocks. But with the covered calls, it seems like it's a little bit of a different strategy. So, and I think that's where I got myself in a bit of a pickle when I was doing weeklies, because it felt like I was looking for stocks to buy, and that's where I made my mistakes. How do you look at stocks, and how do you know which ones to pick? And
Ooh, that's a very good subject.
What's your
actually.
strategy? Because that's I know that's where I made my mistake, and because I wasn't, I didn't know what I was doing. So tell me, how you handle that.
Yeah. So some of this started when I started the covered call challenge. Was which stocks do I actually want to consider for covered calls? And what I've found out that works well for me, and that what I've taught in the fundamental lecture and stuff like that is, I like large caps. I will.
So explain what you mean by
well,
that.
I mean, so over 10 billion in market capitalization. I will look at stuff down to 2 billion. For example, like Peabody Energy. Am I not talking into the mic?
You're good. Just when you move.
Peabody Energy was a one that we traded for a while last year, very well, very successfully, and it was a smaller stock.
Alcoa is a very good example.
Alcoa, yeah. So, and they had good fundamentals. I mean, they're profitable companies, and they don't carry a lot of debt. I talk about things like that, which means they can weather storms when they happen. I like to see high rates of return on equity. And these are fundamental stuff. We talk a little bit about PE ratios, and you look at how PE ratios compare to each other within their sector and then against each other. And, one of the reasons, I love Tesla. I want to own a Tesla. I want to own a Tesla robot when it comes.
You want a Tesla? Omri has a...
No, not right now. But I do not like Tesla stock. Now, I wish I had owned it a long time ago.
Yeah.
And the reason that it's not a good stock for me to do covered calls on. I don't buy calls on it either because it goes up and down a lot, and it's kind of unpredictable. And the biggest one of it is its PE was just so high. It's like
it's insane.
People are willing to pay a lot of money for Tesla stock for whatever reason, and it's certainly not because of the financials.
So explain what PE is.
Price to earnings ratio. So if you take the current price of the stock and you divide it by the earnings that was last reported or for the year, you come up with a price to earnings ratio. It's just a measurement. It's a number. That's all it is.
But based on how many stocks there are out there, correct? So they multiply all the stocks that are out there by the price of the stock, and they divide it by the actual company value.
Right. So you are comparing how many times earnings the stock is trading for. So if its earnings are $10 per share and the stock is trading for 100, what's 100 divided by 10? Price divided by earnings, that comes to 10, right?
Correct.
So 10. So somebody's willing to pay 10 times earnings for this stock. That's what the current price of the stock is. I mean, all by itself, it doesn't mean a whole lot other than it's just a measurement of how many times earnings the stock is trading for. So if you have a sector, though, and all of them are similar, that's normal. If you have a sector and one of them has a PE of 100 and the other one has a PE of 3, well, you have to start asking yourself, why are people willing to pay so much more for this company than that company? Because on paper, it may not be justified. The actual value of the company that you want to compute yourself, which there's different interpretations of that. Basically, how much are you willing to pay how much times earnings are you willing to pay for this company?
It doesn't sound much.
And Tesla might be in the 300s sometimes. I don't know what it is right now.
So it does sound very, very similar to real estate. The real estate price is basically what people are willing to pay for it.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like a business. Like if you were to buy a business, you would look at everything about the business, but how much are they earning? The future earnings.
Correct.
And then try to come up with a price. And so it's not that it's a tell-all indication, but you have to use it in context. You have to compare it to other things.
It's funny, that's what.
So right here, PE for Tesla is 372.
Wow.
So the company is traded for 372 times the actual value of the company.
So what do you want to compare it to? Like NVIDIA? Let's just compare it to NVIDIA. They're both, Mag 7 stocks, right?
Yeah.
So if we were to go to NVIDIA...
When you said Mag 7 stocks, what's that?
Magnificent 7, so they're just 7 of the,
desirable
big stocks in the S&P 500.
Okay.
So NVIDIA is 41.
Wow.
Now, how much, let's see. How much revenue did NVIDIA make versus Tesla? Tesla made $94 billion in revenue, trailing 12 months. So the last 12 months, they've made $94 billion in revenue.
Wow.
Just straight up sales, right? NVIDIA in the trailing 12 months, last 12 months, has made $215 billion in sales.
Oh, wow.
NVIDIA's...
I'm pretty sure their profit per sale is higher.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So this is my point. NVIDIA trades at 40 times earnings and Tesla at 300 and something.
Correct.
Why?
Because it's so popular.
Right.
And I think that's
insane.
That's the saying to all those teenagers that are listening to us right now. Yes, you want to date the queen of the class, but once you do that, you figure out it doesn't pay as much. No, the pay is...
Omri,
I'm sorry. That went wrong a bit, but it doesn't benefit you as much. So it's exactly that. Maybe she's very popular, but one date is enough. Are we done?
I think we're done with that one.
It could be that we're
I think
done
we're done with
that.
that one. I think we're done with that one.
So here's an example. This is what I do in class sometimes. I've done this before. I throw up 2 stocks.
Yeah.
And I say, which one do you want to own? And I make it somewhat misleading in that I try to, I put this company is trading at this big price and their premium is $20-some.
Yeah.
If you were to sell a call on it, right? This stock's premium is $2, right? And then I try to compare them and show them how they're wrong. Well, I do the same thing with fundamentals, and I say, okay, company A is makes this much money. So if I said that company A makes 125 billion in revenue, and company B makes 94 billion in revenue, which one would you go with? Right? Well, you go with the one that makes more money. Well, but we don't know everything, right? We don't know how many expenses they have and things like that. But anyway, I go down this list, and it ends up being Tesla and AT&T. AT&T makes more money than Tesla.
Really?
And AT&T right now trades for $26, and Tesla trades for $400.
Okay. So AT&T, you said 26. It seems it came up a bit because it was very down for a period of time. But yeah, if you are listening to us and it seems very intimidating to you right now, don't feel that, because we promise you it's much more simple than what you think or what you hear or how it sounds to you. 855-939-1137. If you have any questions about the subject we're bringing here, we have like 15 more minutes. 855-939-1137. And if you do want to learn in a simple way how to make such great return, please come to Investor Schooling. Go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com and RSVP for a free class this coming Thursday. investorschooling.com. So yeah, it's funny how when we look at the PE, we never know what earning will bring, and Larry like to say that you never know. Mm-hmm. You never know if the earning are actually going to affect the stock.
Right.
But when you have two situations that both benefits you and both goods, the earning can be a good guide, at least for me. And maybe I'm wrong, and maybe if Larry would have been here, he would throw a chair at me. But I will tell you that yesterday, when I was trying to figure out if to sell the option on American Airlines, that the premium became high again, because the stock is coming up.
It didn't become high again.
I know, the stock recovered.
You chose to look at 1 out of the money instead of 10 out of the money.
2 out of the money instead of 3 out of the money, correct. But the point is, I said to me, what will make the decision? How do I know if it's better for me to wait for the stock to go up again or to sell the option now?
Right.
And then I looked, and we saw that the company expect bad earnings in, I think, a week time from now.
Well, yeah, sort of.
Their expectation.
The forward PE was negative or something like that.
Negative 22 or 25.
We didn't investigate it any further than that, so we don't know exactly what they were predicting. Yeah. We just knew that it wasn't as good as what they did last quarter.
Correct.
So, however, that's what everybody's expecting. And so if everybody's expecting it right now, everybody has decided to be trading the stock at the price it's trading at right now.
Yeah.
So if they
everybody.
If they meet that horrible expectation, then there shouldn't be any surprises, right?
Correct. But if they will surprise everybody and they will show maybe growth in income.
Right. So there'll be something else that'll trigger it up or down.
Correct.
It probably won't. I mean, it can be. We just don't know. The stock market doesn't care what we think, right?
So what's the difference between the PE and the forward PE? I know you explained that, but I forget.
It's just the forward one is looking at what the company is expecting to do next quarter with their reported earnings.
Okay.
And so, the company says we expect to do this. The analysts say we expect the company to do this, and all of this that gets created turns into a consensus that was just completely artificial, right? It's just based on it's not what the company will tell you what they think they're going to do, but and then everybody else forms this opinion, and it becomes the recognized. This is what is expected to happen, that everything is measured off of.
Okay.
And when those expectations are not met, then everybody loses their mind, right? Or not. Maybe they sell the stock. Maybe they buy the stock. I mean, a lot of it depends on what they say and what they're expecting. If they say, "Hey, we missed our earnings this quarter, but we expect to double our earnings next quarter," right? Well, then everybody will lose their mind and they'll buy the stock. So that's why it's a crazy, crazy world.
I think we saw that with Southwest back then.
Yeah. Southwest really jumped up. They changed some pricing model stuff. So they just started making more money. They started charging people for seats and all that jazz.
But even before that, people expected them to make more money. There was like expectation that brought the investor to buy the stock more.
Yeah, I don't remember what.
Yeah.
I used to trade Southwest when it was at 30.
Mm-hmm.
What's it at now?
40 in the 40s.
Yeah.
So.
It's high. Alcoa that we used to trade back then for, I think, 20 or 30 is over 60 now.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's amazing.
It's coming down. But yeah.
So I think because everything is coming up again, and there is a good chance that somebody that our stock option buyers will execute the options, we're asking ourselves, what will be the next buy? And that go back to your question. So those 6 stocks that we normally say you need to pick your 6 stock and to stick with them, if all the 6 stocks are so high, I guess you will need to.
That's right. There was a question, wasn't there?
Yeah. So
and then I just started talking.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So the 6 stocks specifically applies to. Sorry, not specifically. I say primarily applies to buying a call, not selling a call, buying a call, because you have to be familiar enough with the stock price movement, and you know the earnings dates, and you're familiar with the fundamentals, and you've been watching this stock for a long time, that you can pick up on some technical patterns that you can make some plays off of. You've done your fundamental analysis, you like the company, but you're noticing the movement in the stock price. And you can buy a call, you can make money off that. With covered calls, you run into the problem with only 6 stocks, you'll run into the problem that you just described. Well, if I'm doing this for an income generating strategy, that means I need to be doing something every time I'm available to do something. So if you're selling a month-long call, when that month goes by and the call expires, you have to either establish a new position or buy back the stock or buy a different stock, but you need to be doing something in order to sell something to generate the income, because you're doing an income generating strategy.
Right.
It's hard to do with just 6 stocks, because what if all those 6 stocks prices have gone up
very much? Yeah.
And so you start to look elsewhere, and that's fine. I mean, I tell people that. I mean, in the fund, we have 15 stocks for that very reason, that we are focused around 15 stocks, but we're maybe only trading 6 or 7 of them at any given time. I think we did a little bit more this time around, and the idea there is that hopefully you can get a better price entry on a different stock. So I have a list I actually have 4 lists ranked in like tiers. Like I have my tier 1 stocks that are my stocks I might go into the bag and see which one smells the best. And then I have another list of things I'm watching, and then I have another list of things I'm watching, and another list, right? And so I'll spend most of the time on that first list, but then I'll, once a week or once a month, I'll go and I'll update
dig
them all.
in more to those other options.
And you hear, and things change. Some, I don't know. I mean, like Amazon, NVIDIA, they all both climbed really, really high this week. And so there's not much I can do with them on Monday if I was going to do weeklies. So they're way too high. Until they establish a new trend, or, until the craziness in the market calms down a little bit. I mean, this climb was impressive. 13 days. 12 out of 13 days were up days. And I think every single one of them, the market opened higher than it closed the previous day. So it was just crazy. Like, it was vertical. I mean, the recovery. In 13 days, the market went from 10% down. The S&P 500 went from 10% down to above its all-time high 2 months ago, or 2.5 months ago. So last April, during the tariff debacle, that whole thing lasted like 4 months. So the decline combined with the recovery. And then it recovered on a gentler slope. It was still a nice slope up, but it was gentler than this vertical one that happened over the last 30 days. So I don't know. It gives me pause. So it's great for everybody this month that sold calls. They're all going to get assigned.
We have one of our students on the line right now. Right. Nancy called us. We have a few more minutes. Yeah. Hello, Nancy.
Please.
Hello, kids.
Hi, Nancy.
Now we know it's her, right? Yeah. So you started to trade with the options recently. How does it work for you? You tell us and to the listeners.
It's like this secret that nobody ever tells you about.
Yeah.
And it's this like remarkable income generation machine that just sits there and works for you while you're doing other stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty remarkable. I never even heard of it.
You have a lot of real
Or knew
estate
anything
as
about
well. How does it affect your time and your effort? How much to put into this? And you don't need to put much more. So much time into covered calls. But yet, it's amazing how much time we put into the real estate sometime, and how much it benefits us compared to covered calls.
Oh, well, I have to get further into the real estate that I own, we have to figure out. I have to get with Dr. Deb on this and figure some things out. But, I'm going through all those videos now, too, all those lessons now, too. But here's the thing. I have a little house. I use it for vacations. And Larry says I should put it in a trust.
Okay.
And when you put it in a trust, who's the trustee? And then Larry also said you have to have an EIN number. And you have to form an LLC. So you have to take an EIN number and go to Dun & Bradstreet and get a Dun & Bradstreet number.
Correct. To build credit under the company's name.
And how do you choose the company's name? And here's the thing. I've had an EIN number for 20 years. My accountant, remember, don't listen to people. So my accountant said, I need the EIN number so that I can do 1099s for the people who work.
But an EIN number come with a business. You have a business that is established and collecting and basically building credit on this business name for the last 20 years. That's what you're saying?
Yes, but I sort of let it go away during COVID.
That's fine, but this business is open and active for 20 years, or you closed it?
No, it's still there.
So you understand how fabulous it is that you own a company, you own a business that is 20 years old and has an history. When you fill up an application for a loan for a bank and they ask you how long your business exists, you can say 20 years. I'm in business for 20 years.
Oh, I'm sorry. almost 30 years.
Almost 30 years, even better. That's awesome. So there's benefit to everything.
Yeah, but I'm not really doing anything with it right now.
Okay. We'll help you to figure this out.
I think she was asking about EINs on a trust.
There were too many information, but we only have 30 seconds.
I'm talking about the little vacation house.
Yeah.
The little vacation house is not a rent.
Wrap her up.
It's just sitting there. It just sits there.
Okay, we will need to.
We just did our taxes, so it has no mortgage, so you can't write anything off.
We'll need
How
you
is
to.
it benefiting me if it?
We'll need you to bring all those details to the school, to the class, and we can discuss that. I'm pretty sure me and Dr. Deb can help you with that. Me and the tax wise, and maybe Dr. Deb is the real estate. But we do have 30 more seconds, so we have to wrap it up. If you want to join us, please go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com and RSVP for a free class this coming Thursday. My name is Omri Morad. Here in the studio with me is Dr. Deb Anderson and the amazing Brian Lerman. And we were the Larry Steinhouse Show. We hope you had great time. Please listen to us next week and come to Investor Schooling. Go to investorschooling.com.
This program is paid for by Investor Schooling. All opinions are...
You are clear. Hang on one second. I got to tell Dr. Deb something.
Yeah, what's up?
Of WPHT.
1 second.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia.
Okay, so first of all, great job, everybody. Great job, Brian.
Thank you.
Dr. Deb.